Hi guys, today I'm going to talk about the new BMW X3 LCI. We're just going to go through what's the changes so far. Okay, so let's straight away head to the video. So firstly, we have the new front end, which equips the new optional BMW laser light technology, and obviously we have the standard LED headlights just like the 5 series facelifted version, and the grills is now 2-piece instead of 1-piece, just I mentioned like the 3 series. And also the rear end, they have changed the graphics of the tail lights, which means you have a more sharp and crisp graphics, and the 3-dimensional effect extends all the way. We have a new rear bumpers, and the front end it's now cleaned off because you no longer have the fog lights, so you have a wider aperture for the air intakes. And the rear end you also have a fake side intakes, which just like the 3 series, but this is even more sportier and retains the new dual tailpipes from the 3 series. Okay, so obviously you have the X4 facelift, but they don't make any big changes. The same front end, but the rear end is low P, except that's the changes. And then you have the new air intakes, which is slopes. Okay, and other than that, the whole dimension is unchanged. Okay, you still have a big friendly SUV that you need for everyday use, and the front rear and the lower bumper, it is finished nicely and sharp, so it brings even sporty appeal to it. Okay, and we have an optional shadow line package, which means the headlamps is darkened out, and we have a lot of variants. Okay, so instead of the S Drive, they drop the S Drive 30i, they bring in the X Drive 30i, and also the X Drive 30i and the M40i and the X3M competition. They all launched together. We have a 2-liter engine for the X3 X Drive 30i, okay, which produces 255 horsepower and 350 Newton meters of torque, while we have a plug-in hybrid version. Okay, and the M40i uses a 3-liter turbocharged engine, which produces 360 horsepower and 500 Newton meters of torque, which is the same thing as the M340i. Okay, 0 to 100 competes in 4.9 seconds for the M40i. So that would be the entry-level M performance model for the X3 this year. And we have a luxury line M Sport body kit and the full M performance body kit from the X3M and the X3 M40i. So that's the main changes that we have today. And to be progressing, okay, we also have the new interior and other key features that has been changed. So the luxury line, this is the luxury line model. It looks really good. The front end is even appealing and sportier, and the optional laser lights appears in the specifications. Okay, this is the plug-in hybrid version of the X3, and the slopey roofline is retained to combat the new SUV characteristic. Okay, and the new off-road elements applied across the range, so you have a better and nice looking luxury line body kit right now, or the X line body kit. Okay, so comment in the comment section below, is the changes is really good for the X3 or really needed. So yep, they have made a very good job in facelifting. So you have a new amenities, and yes, everything is updated, so it's a really nice package to carry. And the X3M competition, which has now been changed. The front end is the same thing as the facelifted X3, and the rear end too. So you have a new color choices and the new engine, the lightweight crankshaft, which delivers 650 Newton meters of torque. So an increase of 50 Newton meters, which also contributes 0 to 100 in 3.8 seconds. That's 3 seconds, whopping 3 seconds faster than the pre-facelifted X3M competition, which produces 600 Newton meters of torque. Okay, so the S Drive is the 2-wheel drive version, so which means they have dropped it out and they bring in the full all-wheel drive option for all variants in the X3, except for the X3M, which you have an MX drive, and with different differentiation lock, okay, new driving modes and the new safety systems. So the X3M competition comes with the driving assistant as standard, okay, just like your normal variant, and then you can choose the optional driving assistant professional, and the M compound brakes and other stuff is completed into the car. And another stuff that it does off-road really well because of the X Drive, so that's a really good benefit of the X3, and very spacious boot space and practicality is really nice and nicely integrated into the car. Okay, so this now matches up the new X lineups from BMW SUV range, which is the BMW X5, the BMW X6, okay, and even the X4 also received the same facelift, so they also has the same technical outputs from the same engine, okay, but except that the design has been totally changed compared to the X3. And another new changes that they made is the interior, okay, which means we really have a nice interior. Okay, so yep, yeah, the exterior does, BMW does it really well. However, they could just retain the old tail lights and change a bit. The new headlights looks really modern, but yes, that's it for the whole layout of the X3 and the exterior. So now we're ready to jump in the interior. First changes is the center console now occupies the new BMW laser light technology, the new BMW interior philosophy, which means you have all buttons from the 3 series, and you have a new layout of center console, which means the buttons has been well organized compared to the 5 series. And then we have a redesigned Sensatec leather seats for the new generation, so which means you have a more comfort and more sustainability for longer journey. Okay, and other than that, we do have other amenities, which is a bigger screen, and we have a live cockpit professional stuffs, which is integrated into the X3 from the 7 series, from the 5 series, and from a lot of new models of BMWs. Okay, so the redesigned seats, which is a more perforated and more breathable day-to-day use, so which means you can keep comfortable, and for long driving distance, this will really help you to capture your comfort. And they have new materials and other stuffs is almost the same thing. Okay, they don't make any changes. The rear seats now has been redesigned a bit to keep the comfortability from the passenger. So we have a new set of trims for the car, and other than that, the whole thing has been retained compared to the pre-facelifted version. Okay, so I reviewed the pre-facelifted version, which is totally good looking, and that's the X3 Extra 30i version. So we have a new steering wheel, new screen, bigger screen, and we have a new generation BMW interior amenities. Okay, so which means we have the sharp aircon vents, and the aircon controls will be nice and crisp compared to the pre-facelifted version. And you have a wireless charging, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which is standard in all across the variant. And this new interior, thumbs up, they have done a very